So obviously that can leave us very vulnerable if we're in that situation where we've been surprised, the adrenaline's gone in, we've been put into a freeze situation, into panic, and our assailant can effectively do whatever they like to us, and we've got no resistance to fight back. And by the time we gather any resistance, it's too late. Okay, we're either hurt, damaged, or the person's mugged us and is off. So again, it goes back to awareness, like I was talking about earlier on. Now, a combat pistol instructor called Jeff Cooper many years ago came up with a awareness colour coding, a little bit like a traffic lights, and it's worth kind of thinking about this. Okay, the colour coding starts from white, goes to yellow, then orange, and then to red. So if we start with white, white is obviously when you're completely relaxed. You may be at home, you're with your family, the door's locked, so all security is in place, there's no threats, no dangers. You're sitting there watching TV with your family, whatever, totally relaxed. That's white. Okay, now yellow is the next level, and whenever you go out your house, you should really be in yellow. That's basically just be aware of your surroundings, look around, like we discussed earlier on, if you're on your mobile phone or something, you'll send a text message, just put your back to a wall, look around, yeah, okay, whatever. It's just awareness of your situation and surroundings, okay? If you see a potential threat, like so we say you're walking along, there's a group of young lads in front of you who are all in hoodies and looking a little bit mischievous, maybe they're a bit drunk, whatever, there's a potential threat there. Okay, then you go up to orange, or it might be you just see somebody lurking around in the shadows. It's night, you're walking home, there's a dark corner where there's not much street light, and you just see somebody moving in and out of the shadows. So again, you go up to orange. It's not an immediate threat, but it's a potential threat. And when you go into orange, that's when you should be looking to take positive action. If you're walking down the road and you see that in front of you, is there another way home? Is there somewhere else you could walk? Can you cross the road? Particularly if you're a lady on your own, is there someone around that you could maybe walk with for a little bit of extra protection? Okay, so that's when you should be looking at taking potential action. Okay, if there isn't another way around, if it's your only way home and you've got to go that way for whatever reason, then prepare yourself for a potential fight. Maybe get some kind of weapon in your hand if you've got something with you, even if it's just keys or even glasses. I mean, even that can be quite nasty. So prepare yourself for potential confrontation. The higher code, red, that is when you're an imminent threat. You've been threatened, somebody's moved towards you, they're making demands, that is an immediate threat, and when you get to red, then you're in the situation, right? But it's worth bearing in mind that colour coding system from white through to red, and particularly from your everyday life, when you're outside the house, you should hopefully just fluctuate between yellow and orange, okay? Yellow, you're just aware of your situation. Orange, you see a potential threat. If you do it right at that stage, you don't get to red. Okay? You see a potential threat, you go away. Okay? If you're in a bar and you see some trouble brewing, leave the bar. Go and get a drink somewhere else. Don't have to stay there. Okay? Particularly guys, don't have to be macho about it. Okay? I don't want to be scared out of here. I can handle myself. Forget that, that's just ego. That's bullshit. It's ego. Take your ego out of it. Okay? The bottom line is, when you're looking at self-protection, the main thing about self-protection is not to get into an altercation in the first place. If you do get into some kind of altercation, even if you win, then there's a fail from the point of view of self-protection, that you got yourself into that situation. Yeah? I walk my dog along a local cycle path. At winter, when we have the early nights, and there's no lighting down that cycle path, I don't walk him down that cycle path late at night. or even early evening when it's dark. If I get into an altercation, even if I win, there's a fail, because I should not have put myself into that situation. Take the necessary precautions when you get to orange, so that hopefully you don't get to red. Okay? There may be some situations when it can't be helped, but if there's any possible way of getting out of the situation, when you sense there's a threat, when you get to orange, that's the time to take action so that you don't get to red. Take the ego out of it. Now, there's a couple of other considerations. If you're out socialising, you're down the pub or whatever, or you're down the town, you're in a social situation. Let's say you're with a group of friends. Okay, one very good practice, if you go out with a group of friends, have one of them stay sober. Take it in turns. We want to stay sober. They used to do this where I worked, and they used to call it Tiger Watch. One person will be on Tiger Watch, so that if a situation does appear to be brewing, if you've got a few drinks inside you, you may not notice it. Okay, your awareness is a little bit lowered, shall we say. So if a situation is brewing, whether it's maybe a fight brewing between some group that may be near you, or whether it's somebody that's showing a little bit too much interest in one of the members of your group, it may be unwanted advances from a man to a woman, it may be someone that's kind of checking you out so they can steal something from you, okay? But it's always a good idea to have one person sober watching the group, okay? And you've got to have an agreement beforehand that if that person says we're leaving, everyone has to follow it and everyone has to leave, okay? If you go out in a group regularly, then it's a good idea, change it around so everyone gets a turn, yeah? Particularly if somebody is driving, the driver has to stay sober anyway, so it's a good thing to nominate the driver as the Tiger Watch if that's appropriate, yeah?